Hey, we're live with MindBody TV. Welcome. I am Dr. Kim Duramo. I'm going to be sharing today a really powerful resource that will assist many in releasing illness, chronic pain, chronic fatigue, anything that you feel like you're plagued with that's not getting better no matter what you do. So whether it's physical, mental, emotional, so anxiety, depression, like the heaviness of all of that. We're going to be doing some EFT tapping today so you can kind of reboot what's going on in your nervous system and your immune system and your endocrine system. For those of you who don't know what EFT tapping is, it's a really, really powerful way of giving new information to the brain and nervous system, which are a really big part of the communication system throughout the entire body, and allowing a harmonization, meaning we're neutralizing resistance so your body can have access to the energy, the health, the vitality, the passion, the joy, the clarity that is really who you are. For those of you who don't know me, I am Dr. Kim Duramo. I'm a physician who I was board certified in emergency medicine, but I'm trained in osteopathic medicine, which is about how the mind and body are connected, how the body heals itself. And I've worked with this for over a decade to assist many, many people in releasing chronic illness, chronic disease, chronic pain, and being free from disease instead of managing it. So welcome here. Welcome to everyone who is in the MindBody community or listening in YouTube, or if you're here in Instagram. Awesome. We're going to use some EFT. If you're not familiar with it, super easy. I'll guide you through it. But know that the Tapping World Summit, the 13th annual Tapping World Summit, is still going on right now. I think they're on day 9, but is definitely something that I am recommending emphatically if you're interested in purchasing it for your library. My talk was on day 3, and it was about connecting with your body to know what, decode all the signals, signs, symptoms that are going on. So you have a real clear understanding of what's going on and can use tapping to neutralize the resistance that's keeping those things in place. So welcome. I love hearing where you're tuning in from in the world, and what maybe is coming up for you around this. If you have experienced a chronic illness yourself, or dealing with anything that you're struggling with in particular that we can use EFT with. Hello, a special shout out to Gemma. And I want to share these beautiful, beautiful pieces I got today from my beautiful daughter that I'm really, really excited about. Is this one going to come out? How amazing this is. Hold on. This one's one of my favorite. Check this out. Isn't that so sweet? She made that for me. I just got it today. So I hung it in my office, and I'm glad to share it with you. All right. So here we go. New Brunswick, Canada. Hello, A. Grant. Hello, BG. Oh, from Norway, Florida, London, Salem, Mass, Toronto, British Columbia. Kelly, I love EFT. Yeah, and Kelly is a nurse who's a friend of mine from high school. So good to see you. Gabriella, hello, Rita, Michelle from Denver, Joni from Tennessee. I'm working on a Tennessee accent for a production I'm in, so I could use some assistance for that. Rebecca from Netherlands, Wendy from Florida, hello, Katie. Awesome, great. Neglect and trauma from the past. All right, hello from Boston. Yeah, we'll look at neglect and trauma from the past. What we're gonna focus on is, so one of the things I've seen is why so many people, like, we're not healing no matter what we do. We can't get that energy, get that vitality, get that disease to resolve. What happens so often that we don't realize is, we have so much possibility to access energy for healing, for vitality, for clarity, for creation. And when a lot of our energy is tied up in other places, it's not available to us. So one of the places we're going to look at today and clear up is the past, where this thing happened to me and it's wrong, it shouldn't have happened, or I can't forgive this person or this thing or myself, or, regret. Oh, why didn't I do it that way? And then I wouldn't be in this situation. So I want you to feel into for yourself, just start with a little check-in in the body, where you, how you're feeling right now, whether anything particular is coming up or just in general, like, whoa, my life's been kind of a mess, or I've had this illness, I'm really frustrated. Whether or not there is a feeling of anything linked to the past, feel into what's coming up for you right now, whether it seems to be linked to, some people are talking about generational trauma, chronic pain, cancer. Okay, great. I really enjoyed you on the tapping summit. Thank you. We got a lot of amazing comments of people having huge breakthroughs from that session. So that is awesome. Oh, and the link, if you do want to purchase the summit, it's a bit.ly link we've created, bit.ly/tapping summit 2021. You'll be able to, the series is not a huge investment, but it's a really, really powerful addition to your library, and I will highly recommend that. And my session is in day 3, and there's a bonus we did for anyone who purchases the series, where I'm teaching you, like, how do you know what to tap on? How do you get underneath the symptoms, the physical, mental, emotional symptoms, to get to the root of what's going on? This is what I found to be one of the most powerful ways to use tapping. And I share a lot more about that in that video as well. Awesome. I've had a lot of heavy energies coming up again lately, a lot of deep sadness, anxiety, panic, heavy fatigue. Good. So let's see what happens from today referent to that. Hello from the vineyard. Generational trauma. My ancestors lived through 2 world wars. Okay, great. So whether you're aware of this or not, we pass on in our DNA what's called generational trauma, meaning, most doctors, you go to the doctor and they're like, what do you have going on in your body? And it's really all about you. Maybe they'll look at your own past of, have you had any major traumas or emotional, challenges, and that can actually play into how your body holds energy, so that energy can't just move through, and you end up with chronic pain, chronic inflammation, chronic disease, major factor in that. But even if they are looking at that, very few are looking at what happened in generations beyond you. We look at a family history of, did anyone have heart disease? Did anyone have diabetes? But not particularly at what are the experiences, the emotions, the challenges and tribulations that were in your family. And most of us don't know what they are anyway. However, science has shown that these are carried on generationally, meaning if you have an ancestor who went through the Great Depression and they lived in lack and they had to scrimp and save and, maybe like save up the aluminum foil because it was, precious commodity and they couldn't have money for things, and they lived in the fear about money, that maybe this is why you're experiencing lack in your money, or you're not fluid with money or generous with yourself and receiving and giving money, or experiencing abundance. When they looked at lab mice, they would have a particular trauma. They had these cherry blossoms they would expose the mice to. So they'd smell the cherry blossoms, and then they would induce a shock, an electric shock. So it would be a trauma to the mice, and they'd go into a stress response. But what they found, of course, then just the scent of the cherry blossoms would induce the stress response. So without any actual shock, just the scent of the cherry blossoms. And most of us are familiar with that kind of research, with like the Pavlovian response, etc. The body will mount a stress response even with just the scent of the cherry blossoms. But what was really fascinating was that generations down and generations down, they also studied like the offspring of those mice who had never been exposed to a shock or a major stressor, when exposed to the cherry blossoms, would go into the same stress response, meaning that that trauma had been carried down in the DNA, and these descendants of those mice responded the same way. So what are your innate responses that, like, something happens and you get upset and angry, or something happens and you immediately go into fear, or you have habitual ways of being with relationships or with your body or with money that maybe you're not serving you at all, we can release this with what we're doing today. So I would like you to share on a scale of 1 to 10. Well, first share what's coming up for you right now. Do you have pain, illness, chronic fatigue, or are there like, oh, I'm always angry, anxious, panic disorder, things like that? Or are there challenges coming up with money, lack, limitation? Oh, I always just have to work so hard. Or relationships, right? Oh, nobody really understands me. I'm lonely. I don't have love. I'm being abused. I'm always alone. What may be arising? So let's look at that. Jen, repressed childhood trauma held so much of my energy for so long. Exhaustion, lots of love, not moving forward. Oh my gosh. Katie said, why didn't I buy Bitcoin or real estate? I'm still renting at 40. Good. So feel all the heaviness that comes with those ideas, those thoughts. I should have done it this way. Why didn't I do it that way? I'd be better off if I had done that instead, or if this thing hadn't happened. Trauma from emergency surgery. Hello, Sandra from England. Awesome. Okay, great. Yes, Ho'oponopono was very powerful. Despair. Trauma from the birth experience. Where are we? So much fatigue. Relationships and finance. Lack in my relationships and finance. Okay, great. A little of all of it. Michelle. Trusting men. This is a great example where we may not even have, maybe we do have some experiences in our own lifetime, but like the level of where I'm in distrust and shutdown and anger or whatever doesn't quite match what my own experience has been. And I'm like, maybe I'm holding something from the past. So let's feel into all of this, and we'll go into any energies you're holding, from like what happened to you, what's carried from your generation and your lineage that you may not know about. All of it. Now, the point that I'm going to share with EFT that's very, very important. And we did a whole session last week about use EFT to nurture yourself more fully instead of using EFT to make the problem go away. Because the first way is always going to create lightness, and that is what lets your body heal. I have seen universally that people, maybe there's a lot of densities that will come up, but as they use this approach, it is complete, as opposed to, oh, it worked, I hope it doesn't come back. When we use it the second way to make the problem go away, it is very limited. So often people are like, it didn't work, or I feel lighter, but then it comes back. Totally different way of doing it. It is what most people are doing with EFT. If we go to the first way, you will always have so much more profound results and exponential results, meaning the deeper you go, the more expansion you will witness. But the second thing that is very, very important is we are not tapping in the past. We're not digging up the past to like find the thing and let's tap on that. Everything that we tap on is right here, right now in the body. And this is a lot what I talked about in the tapping segment, but also the bonus video. How do you find out what you're carrying from the past? How do you find out where your energy's off in the future? How do you know what's underneath your symptoms? It is always here now. Someone made a comment this week about clairvoyance, and because I'm intuitive, assumed that I'm clairvoyant, which is like, you know, you see things, you're aware and able to see what's in the body. And they said, well, that's like, you can see into the future. And this was like super chargy for me because I was like, okay, that is not what's happening with intuition or this kind of awareness. You can only see what's here now because this is really the only place we live. Okay, having said that, we're not tapping on the past. You don't have to go and sort of figure this out. Feel into your body right now. And you can put your hand on your heart and just ask, what would it take for me to release my past and be free? What would it take for me to release my past and be free? Okay, so around any of this, BG says, Anxious, stress, anger, exhausted. I keep lashing out at my kids. Heather said anxiousness, safety. Wow, Brianna, anxious. Candace, illness, anxiety, panic. Monique, anxious. Wow, anxious is a big, big theme. Good, good. Someone said, I feel things from other generations. Yeah, the more empathic and connected and sensitive you are, the more you're going to feel of this. Oh, sorry, we did some of these. Lack, fatigue, dizziness. Can EFT help with trying to cut back on alcohol? Yeah, because this is usually our escape. I'm escaping the fear. I'm escaping the pain. I'm escaping the loneliness, the emptiness. And that's where the addiction will stem from. A lot of it's emotional. I'm not saying that there's not a physical component. There sure is. But a lot of it is with this underlying emotional need not being met. So let's look at that. Using it as a crutch for my anxiety and panic. Yeah, so there she is. I'm using it as a crutch for anxiety and panic, but I'm tired of it. And a lot of people do this in subtle or not so subtle ways. Like, oh, let me just have that glass of wine. I need a glass of wine. I need a drink. If you're ever like, I need a drink, there's something there you're not meeting that you're overriding with the drink. It's always going to be temporary, but it's actually going to drive the pain deeper. So, all right, trauma of poor intimate relationships, doubting myself, staying in relationships I'm not thriving in. Yeah, awesome. Awesome. Thank you guys for being here. Whew. Sadness and confusion. I want to embrace fear instead of run from it. All right, so let's move into this. So feel what's coming up for you. A Grant said, I'm lashing out at my kids, hard working from home and having them home and just being kids, but I need to work. So whatever it is that's coming up for you, we're going to use the session to release ideas, conclusions we've picked up on, and old experiences to allow where we got our energy stuck in the past. Because wherever your energy is in the past, it's not here. It's not available, and it's recreating the trauma. Okay. So just feel into your body. What would it take for me to let go of the past and be free? And just breathing, breathing, breathing. Good. All right. Feel what comes up, because you're going to feel it. More you connect with your body, so just soften your body and breathe, the more you'll have this awareness. So you're not answering the question. You're letting in the awareness that comes when you ask the question. What would it take for me to release the past and be free? And now feel on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 is like the most severe, the most contracted, the most oppressed, the most, I feel like life is just randomly happening to me. I'm being punished. I can't get out. To 1 is you feel pretty good. You feel pretty free. You feel pretty light. So what are you feeling? And scale of 1 to 10, how intensity? Overwhelm and regret. Is that why it sticks around if it goes deeper? Yes. If we repress it, suppress it, medicate it, it just goes deeper and sticks around, and it tries to come out in bigger ways and screaming more loudly. And then we make that even more wrong, but it's just the energy letting you know it's ready to move. Good. Okay. So also in Instagram, I didn't know that. Yep, there's a lot. Pelvic pain, stuck in the same situation for 13 years. All right, awesome. My mom was in the Holocaust. My mom was conceived after her dad came back from Auschwitz. God bless you. My cortisol is high. My hormones are imbalanced with a continuous cycle. Anything I can do to lower my cholesterol? Yes, decreasing the inflammation will absolutely lower your cholesterol. Awesome. Hello from India. All right, 7, something is wrong with me. 8, heaviness and pressure in my chest and fear under that. Crying. Awesome, Janet. Already the energy can start to move because we get present with the body. Do not make it wrong that things come up as you open, because they have to come up to come out. Unworthiness, need to be perfect. Awesome. Forgiving my past is hard. I made a lot of enemies. Yeah, so part of forgiving my past is forgiving myself. because I was there. I was involved in all of it. One of the biggest reasons I see people not release chronic illness and disease and pain is because they're not willing to forgive themselves. Because when we begin to see that we're creators, if we make it wrong, we're like blaming ourselves for it. Right now, if I'm going to blame myself, the best I can do is cross my arms and be like, F you. It is not my fault. You are wrong. Right? So now I don't access my power, but at least I don't make myself wrong. But what if you don't make any of it wrong? This is just energy asking to move. And the more it's suppressed, the louder it has to scream, because life is on your side for healing, awakening, vitality, passion, abundance, joy. It's like letting you know. So what's wrong, what's right about this I'm not getting is, oh, wait a minute, there's nothing wrong here at all. It's all serving me. And maybe I was involved in creating this, but not consciously. No one's fault. It's not anyone's fault. There's no fault here. So good. Stomach bloated, palpitations in my stomach, feeling of dense energy, moving slowly, stating that. Okay, great. Awesome. Hello from South Africa. Hello from Cindy from Seattle. All right, coughing. That's energy moving as well, but there is resistance. So let's see what we can do. Okay. Please say, I forgive myself. I forgive everyone, and everyone forgives me. Yeah, this is beautiful. Thanks, Patrick. Or Sherry. Maybe you're giving this to Patrick. I'm free from mistakes and the consequences of mistakes. Thank you. This is a beautiful way to put it. So keep it simple. So just start before we do our tapping. I'm willing to notice all of this. You can say this out loud. I'm willing to notice everything that comes up. I choose to forgive myself. I choose to forgive everyone involved. I choose to let them forgive me. I call on the law of forgiveness, which is neutralizing all of it. There was actually nothing wrong. It's just been a mistake in perception. I call on the law of forgiveness, and I am free from mistakes and the consequences of mistakes. And even that perception of mistakes is a misperception. None of it is wrong. None of it has been wrong. It has been a misunderstanding. Awesome. Yeah, a question comes up. It has to be someone's fault? Yeah, it's not, ever. It's no fault. See if you can soften around that, because that might be a lot to take in right now. All right, so let's move into tapping. So feel your number, whatever, good, nausea, pain from the hurt of mother's wounding. Okay, all of it. So tapping here on the coronary chat point, 3 setup phrases, even though I'm carrying all this heaviness from the past. I choose to forgive the past and set myself free. Even though I'm carrying so much, I don't even know. And it's limiting my life. I choose to resolve this and be free now. Oh, good. Just breathe fully, even though there's so much I'm carrying from my past, known and unknown. I choose to allow a new alignment. And set myself free. Good. Now inner eye, just go on the main points. All that I'm carrying from the past. Outer eye, and it's showing up in my now. Under the eye, the limitation, the lack. Under the nose, the pain, the fear. On the chin, so much illness. Good. Under the collarbone, in myself, in others. Under the arm, so much in the world. Top of the head. What have I been carrying in me? Just keep breathing. Inner eye. Seeing things as wrong. It shouldn't have happened. Oh. Outer eye. Or where I am now is wrong. Something else should have happened. Breathing in, breathing out, relaxing your shoulders, softening the body. Under the eye. I wish this didn't happen to me. Under the nose, rejecting what is. On the chin, rejecting myself. Under the collarbone, rejecting my circumstances. Under the arm. What happened back there? On top of the head. What happened to me? Good. Inner eye. These things I think should not have happened. Just breathe big. Outer eye. And so I don't accept where I am now. Under the eye. If that shouldn't have happened, then this can't be okay. This is not okay. Good. Under the nose. Trying to go back and make it different in the past. On the chin. Trying to go back and have it be different. Under the collarbone. Trying to go back there and make a different choice. Under the collarbone, under the arm, trying to go back there and do it differently. Just soften. Top of the head. From the clarity I have now. Inner eye. From the judgment I have now. Outer eye. From the resistance I have now. I'm going to go a little deeper under the eye that I hate my circumstances. Under the nose, I will not accept this. On the chin, it is not okay how this is. Under the collarbone, what would it take for me to let go? Under the arm, so I can let things be different here now. Good. Top of the head. All this anxiety and fear. Inner eye, trying to make it someone's fault. Yep. Again, outer eye, trying to go back there so I can fix it. Yeah. Because every time I try to go back there, my energy's not here. Under the eye. So I'm not showing up in the now. Under the nose. So much energy caught up in the past. On the chin. Playing that record over and over. Under the collarbone. Wishing it could be different. Under the arm and rejecting the now. Top of the head. When I reject the now, less of me can show up in the now. When I reject the now, less of me shows up in the now. Yeah, try that again. When I reject the now, less of me shows up in the now. Deep breath in. So less of me showing up means less power, less source, less energy, less healing, less light, less wisdom, less clarity, less abundance. Big, big, big breath in. Powerful breath out. I joined late. Can you explain what you're doing? We're doing EFT Meridian Tapping, which is just a really powerful way to give new information to the brain, to the nervous system, to the immune system, to the endocrine system. And it really repatterns, it neutralizes the inflammation, the fear, the fight or flight that's going on in the body that prevents health, that prevents everything. So just a really gentle way of giving new information to the body, letting the body receive a reintegration, right? Instead of this shouldn't have happened, it's like, whoa, I can receive this as it is and access the power that's here. So it all is okay. Good. It's not okay to be here. Brought tears. Yeah. Good, Tara. Anxiety from pain. Anxiety and lack of feeling loved. Good. So what's coming up? Because we are those things. This was great breathing. Lots of heaviness and weakness coming up. Body tingling. Awesome. What else? Good. Thank you, guys. Okay. So let me show you a little bit what happens when we put so much of our energy in the past, right? So, and this is, we're creating a new program called the MindBody Solution for Chronic Fatigue and Brain Fog. And this is like a major, major part of what's in the course material. But there are 4 areas where we lose so much energy. So we're an energy body. And there's the here now. That's right, now. Where everything is possible. I'm accessing source. Energy is moving through me, lights up my body. This is what happens. This is how healing happens. Most doctors are not taught this. We're not taught this in medical school. I have done extensive study, research, practice way beyond that to actually learn, like, how does the body heal? Because it is not through a pill. And how does the body lose energy? So it's not accessing this source vitality in the now. So let's go this way. So future, we put our energy in the future. I hope this happens. I hope that happens. We're trying to control the future. I hope she doesn't say that to me again. But if she does, I'm going to say this, right? That's not even what's happening, but my energy is going into future. And then there's past. This thing happened to me, and therefore, this is how my now gets created. This thing happened to me, and I will never be happy. This thing happened to me, and I'm just going to never really let anyone into my heart. This thing happened to me, and I will forever be broken. Okay, so we actually hold these things. I had a really good friend a long time ago whose wife, cheated on him, left the marriage. He was devastated and just so angry with her. And so much energy vested in the past of making her wrong. Why would she leave me? Why would she do this? That he couldn't be happy. And he had like amazing, loving relationships, amazing life, but it was always like the chip on his shoulder about it shouldn't be this way. It should have been that way. So he couldn't actually access or receive the joy, the love, and the abundance that was here because he was carrying this. And, if he could finally forgive her, he would have the most amazing life that he never, ever would have had with her. Just wasn't possible because it wasn't a fit. But he wasn't willing to receive that and actually receive the gift at the time. So now it's very different, probably. All right. And then the other 2 places are in identity. I'm a 48-year-old woman, and therefore I can't do that. Or because I'm a mother, I have to do this. Or I'm a doctor, I can't talk like that. You have this idea about identity, and then you buy into it, and it limits the access of what's here now, because what's here now might be a totally different expression, but you're like, oh, no, I can only express through the channels of this identity. And then the last one is other people, their opinions, their idea. Oh, I'd be rejected. They'd never accept me if I did that. So we withhold our energy from ourselves because we're tied up in what we think others require of us. So these are like the 4 areas. And today we're doing some tapping on this past piece. But the basic thing I wanted to share is you put so much energy here, right? Past, you can't access it. You can't access it. And a lot of people I've seen universally with chronic illness that's not getting better no matter what they do have a lot of energy here. Whether it's, ever since I had that car accident, or ever since my lover left me, or because I was abused as a child, or because blah, blah, blah. And there's incompletions within themselves for us to go back and collect. Then we bring that power back, and oh my God, Lyme disease heals, chronic fatigue heals, fibromyalgia heals, severe migraine headaches heal, overweight, obesity heals, I can't get pregnant heals. I'm not working on your illness. I'm getting you back to your power. That's all we need to do, because when the lights go on, the ignition happens, the body heals itself. So as a doctor, I have found this to be the most powerful way to practice, and universally seeing really, really powerful results. All right, so we're gonna do a little bit more. So true, doctors don't have a clue. And they have a clue about how to fix the broken problem. We got your arm off, great, we're gonna get your arm on. Or your heart stopped, we're gonna start your heart. Or you're not breathing, let's get some air in there. It is amazing. That is why I trained in emergency medicine. Great use of that work. Amazing. And nothing to offer for chronic illness that is not getting better no matter what we do, right? Like, wait a minute, why is the body actually falling apart in 20 different ways? What would it take for the body to heal? And that is not the realm of allopathic conventional medicine. No right or wrong, just not what we're learning in that space at all. So to begin to look at what would it take for me to heal, you got to ask a different question. All right, so that brought up anger. Good. Invite up whatever is arising. Good. Really needed to hear this today. Healing from trauma of stroke and heart stuff. So many meds, anxiety and panic attack. Let's see about this. Anxiety, heaviness, confusion, having an aha moment, feeling empowered. Good. You'll either feel lighter, you'll feel heavier, or sometimes you feel nothing, which I'll tell you, just soften your body more. When you soften your body more, it softens your conclusions more. It allows something else in. Anger, that it all happened. So let's do a little more tapping on this, and then we'll move into a little bit of lightness, new possibilities. So good, Cindy brought up compassion for myself. Oh, Roxy, I had a profound experience today using the truths you teach, and also EFT. Very profound. Awesome, Roxy. All right, so coming back to the inner eye point, and you know what, we'll just go back to the karate chop point because people are joining. So we're using EFT Meridian Tapping to give new information to the brain and nervous system. Really gentle way of bringing your power back. So breathing in, whatever I notice is okay. So you're gonna repeat after me, even though things are so intense. I choose to love and accept myself fully. Even though it's overwhelming. I choose to embrace what is now. Just breathe big, even though there's no way I can accept this. I make a choice to be at peace. Okay, so inner eye, all this fear and anxiety. Outer eye, I don't even know where it came from. Under the eye, what if I could let something new in? Under the nose, have compassion for the one in pain. On the chin, all the ways I've needed to blame or control. Because of this fear. Under the arm, making what happened wrong. On top of the head, and so I can't embrace what's here now. Inner eye, what if I choose something different? Outer eye, to soften my body. Under the eye, to breathe more fully. Under the nose, to be here in my body now. on the chin, exactly as it is. Good, big breath. Underneath the collarbone, even though I don't like it. Under the arm to come here now, because that's where my power resides. On top of the head. My body can only live in the now. Inner eye. I can't live in the past or access the past. All right. So there's nothing that could change about that. Under the eye, but everything can change about how I receive it. Under the nose. What if I'm willing to let it in and let it change me? On the chin. What's right about this I'm not getting? Under the collarbone. That I could let strengthen me. Under the arm. To come back to the now in my body. On top of the head. Where my real power resides. Good. Big breath in. Let your body move around. Powerful breath out. Your body will move the energy. Yawning, tears, tingling. Someone said random chills. Yes, energy moving. It's all a sign. And sometimes things will feel more intense as they are resolving. Hafsa said, only 10% of diseases we need doctors. Otherwise, in other cases, we need only ourselves. I actually want to speak to that. So it is true that in the conventional model, meaning you're broken, I'll fix you, it's about 15% of problems presenting to that realm are actually organic medical issues to solve. 85 to 90% are require something else. But it doesn't mean we just heal it ourselves. I don't need anybody. Or, oh, why isn't my body just healing this? I must be doing something wrong. It's actually, what would it take for me to open to resources maybe beyond that conventional field or beyond that perspective or beyond that approach? But maybe I'm still letting something in and receiving wisdom, insight, assistance, resources that will come maybe through a doctor with like a different kind of approach, maybe through a energy worker or a different whole different thing maybe you never even heard of before that is a match for resourcing you. The thing I have seen universally is that it has to come from me opening first. It has to come from me opening first. When I've worked with individuals, things like, boom, the next day, I found a homeopath who gave me that remedy and I no longer had thyroid disease. After like years and years and years and years and years of severe, she had hyperthyroid disease. So, whoa, when we shift and we open and we reclaim these parts of ourselves and we receive these parts of ourselves instead of rejecting them or trying to fix them, which is the same thing, we can allow a major shift. So it doesn't mean I have to heal myself and that there's some wrongness to letting resources in. It's just, it might not be the kind of resources you've been chasing after. Maybe something entirely different. So be open. I've been having so many dreams since I started following you and tapping. Awesome. Great. Tracy, so many tears. Sharon, sniffing. Yep, all of it. Release of energy. Jennifer, tears. I really needed that tap. So many tests this morning because my symptoms are so intense. All right, so yes, this does clear your chakras. It clears all of your energy. Beautiful. So let's see. Let me just point out one other thing about like this diagram that's so essential and helpful. Whether we're losing our energy to the future, to the past, to others, to the identity, when we access the body, like feel your physical body, feel your bum on the seat, touch yourself, skin on skin. Let's oxytocin release. Let's endorphins release, innate painkillers. Breathe into your heart. Come back to the body. It already begins to release where your energy is out here, here, in these other spaces. So just connecting physically is a really great start to bring your energy back. Consciously choosing to let go of these outer things is also very powerful. So I hope this has been very helpful for you today. Medication helped me cope until I was ready to let go and even discover other approaches. Yeah, it's when we're ready. So for yourself and your own body, don't force yourself, especially for others you know, don't force them, right? There's nothing wrong with where we're at. It's just we got to open to allow something higher if we're ready. After years of endometriosis, endocrine disease, probably endometriosis, I had to be willing and ready and open. Yep, it's when you're ready. After years of endo, I'm now med-free. Awesome. Well, and we shared a really, really beautiful story with Angelique Zimmerman this week. If you haven't seen the blog, this is posted in the MindBody community. I posted it in my YouTube channel. And if you go to drkimd.com, it's in the blog, her story. I mean, it was really, really powerful. And she had really severe illnesses, was in the bed, in a wheelchair, unable to function, not able to even get up to go to work, and on 30 medications and seeing like dozens and dozens and dozens of doctors for years and years, lifelong. She had like lifelong chronic illness. And she has resolved and shared this amazing testimonial in the MindBody community. And I was like, this is awesome. I know it'll be powerful for people to hear this because the disease she had, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, is a connective tissue disorder. So you're really stretchy. The spine can sublux, so your segments go out. She had severe cervicogenic headaches, like really severe headaches, constantly again and again at like the chiropractor. Hips would go out of joint, like literally dislocating. This is not uncommon with that kind of disorder. But the reason I thought it'd be so powerful is people tend to think like, well, this is structural. So, hey, mind, body, whatever, but this is a structural thing. I have to deal with it on a physical level. And it's not true because she was obviously dealing with that on a physical level. She was told this is going to be the rest of your life, but she knew somewhere, somehow, like, what else is possible here? Is this actually true for me? And she opened. And when she found the work that we're doing here, everything changed, and she got off all of her medications except is using one, and it's as needed only, is no longer having the severe debilitating chronic pain. She's like, I'll recover very, very quickly, not having the dislocations all the time the way that she was. She was waking up like 5 times a night, and now she's like, maybe I wake up 1 or 2 times, not at all what she was having. You know, she's functioning and homeschooling her son. So totally different life, and getting off 30 medications is freaking mega. So I was really excited to share that, especially because, like I said, it's this structural thing, and people tend to, wait a minute, but I have physical disease, so this doesn't apply to me, right? Or wait a minute, I require medication, so this can't help me, right? And that's just a big misunderstanding about the body. So if you'd like to see that, I'm at drkimd.com. You can subscribe to what I'm doing. We're here every week on Wednesday at 11 a.m. Mountain, live with MindBody TV. You can join the MindBody community in Facebook. That's our open community. And if you're in Instagram, you can go to my bio where we have the invitation for the Tapping Summit. We're ending that now. Still a couple of days that you can view it for free, but I would very emphatically encourage you, if this resonates with you, check in with your body, that you'd like to go deeper with tapping, that you can purchase the series. And there are really great resources. Mine particularly was about how to get underneath, like what is at the root of my illness, my disease? Is it hopelessness, helplessness, grief, past lineage stuff I didn't even know I was carrying? It will show up here now in your body. So you don't have to go digging and analyzing and figuring out what happened in my family. You can actually feel the energies here that you're carrying. Super, super helpful. And there's a bonus I did there where I'll bring you deeper into how do you access that? How do you know what your body is holding? But even just the regular general session was really, really powerful. So thank you. Oh, great. Marisa, I was on so many prescriptions and painkillers, and it's been 4 years off of all of them. Whew. Gabriella, many tears, still a very intense in the solar plexus. Awesome. Sarah, I'm experiencing a lot of heat releasing from my body. Awesome. That was a lot of, when we have a lot of heat, it can also create what I know you were experiencing with like the reflux in the stomach, GERD symptoms, the reflux symptoms. So releasing heat is really helpful, especially at night. Like if I had menopause, whoo. So see if you can keep surrendering and softening the body, because your body wants to release that heat. Yeah, awesome. Glad you liked her story, Tara. So when you recognize you're in the future, just come back to the body. Yes. And for me, so the Instant Elevation Program, IEP, it's drkimd.com/IEP, goes a lot more into this. But even if you just do the Instant Elevation Technique, which is free on my YouTube, it's a powerful way to like call your energy back in to the here and now. And yeah, if you notice your energy is in the future, and if you're in anxiety, that's a lot where your energy is, right? What might happen? Let me protect, let me control. Oh, wait a minute. Bring it back here, back now. Breathe it into the heart. All right, awesome. I need to read her story. All right, so go to the blog. It's at drkimd.com/blog. I've been on this mind-body journey for years and haven't seen much healing. It's frustrating. That's actually why I started this interview series. So this is a lot of people I've worked with in the Embracing Health group, or some of them privately, who were in that exact space of like, why is this not working? What am I doing wrong? And realizing that it's always about letting more in, going more and surrendering more into what you're feeling and experiencing instead of trying to fix it. Massive shift in consciousness, right? Major difference in approach. I'm going to embrace myself fully, so I fix the problem, versus I embrace myself fully because I make the choice to embrace myself fully, to be more of the love that I truly am, to take the opportunity to be the light that I truly am. That is what I've seen allow universal healing, massive healing. So it is a great story to read. And this is what we're doing over the next few months, is this interview series in the MindBody TV segments. We're going to bring people in who were in that space of like, yeah, great, but it's not for me. Or yeah, I've done everything and it's not working. And to kind of see what movement we can get and opening we can get for more people in the community around that. All right, awesome. Awesome. Thank you guys for being here. Yes, don't wait for tomorrow. Starting to ask now, what else is possible? Beautiful. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'll be here each week. You can certainly go and attend the rest of the summit. Come and subscribe at drkimd.com if you'd like to play with us more and be part of what we're doing. We'll be sharing some really exciting things this spring, including the mind-body solution for chronic fatigue and brain fog, which I know will be a massive, massive breakthrough around these energies for so many people. All right, lots of love. See you soon. Bye.